What's good, guys? Diehard Knicks podcast is in the building, but I'm in two buildings. I'm in my own building on my own channel, but this is something new thanks to Simeon Russell, that is the Podfather himself. We're gonna be collaborating, and you will be seeing me every Thursday here at 9 o'clock. I know we started late today because it's the first kind of pilot episode of this little thing that we're doing here. It's gonna be called the Diehard Hour. So for those that are watching on diehardknicks.com right now, Diehard Knicks podcast, excuse me, on YouTube. Next week, this show will only be on Thursdays on NBK. So this is something different, man. So I bet you guys have been wondering why I haven't done this before. The first time around when Sim was asking everybody to jump on the channel, he had Still Knicks, he had Steph was on the show, he had the controversy. I believe that was it. And then Sim had his own shows and stuff like that. So at the time, I was just more happy just helping them out. So that's why you always see me on the channel helping out Still Knicks. And every once in a while, I would jump on to Steph's show, just to be on the panel and stuff like that. I would jump on Sim's show just in case he needed me or something like that. That's just the way that I interpreted my contribution to the NBK fan. So it's interesting, man, because NBK fan became a thing. I got, this is like nostalgia, man. On social media, they've been talking a lot about 2016, 10 years ago and stuff like that. It just snowed. The last time it snowed was 2016. So people are reflecting about the past and things of that nature, man. So this is actually the day that MBK came into being here. So I don't know if that's backwards there. It looks like it's backwards on the camera there. But this is actually, that's my government there. And this is the first time that Sim ever put the mbkfam.com out for everyone to see. It was at the draft party that Sim used to do at Atlantic City. So we used to have a lot of fun, man. Guys on Twitter acting like they invent things. There's other guys on YouTube and Facebook also acting like they're the only ones doing stuff. But Sim used to get the people together, man, and drive people out to Atlantic City. Some people that I've met on from that day that I'm friends offline, that I met offline and hanged out with. Shout out to Julian Bloom. Shout out to Harlem CEO. Hanged out with those guys. Met Harlem CEO's lady. I think was it his mom or I believe it was her mom, but he came out to Queens and brought me sneakers one time. Me and Julian Bloom went to a restaurant together, had some pizza. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this whole basketball thing, as far as like streaming and and all this other stuff, that's all cool. But what the only reason why we got into this thing is so we can meet other fans. To tell you the truth, shout out to Sim. Sim was doing this thing. He had blogs and stuff like that. I did a blog also back in the days. We were just trying, not necessarily trying to get into the game, because of course we want to get into the game. To everybody's big goals to be on TV and stuff like that. Now in 2026, I just think is interesting that the goal to get on TV is not necessarily the big thing. The big thing now is to get bread. Everybody's here to get money now. You know what I'm saying? If they can monetize what they love to do, that's the key. That's what I mean to say. To monetize what you love to do. I do love podcasting, man. For those that have been following me on my own channel, I have not been podcasting. So this is really like the first show that I've done in forever, man. So I really appreciate everybody that's been supporting throughout the years, especially Sim, man. Sim is the man, Sim, I can, he just popped in the background. He's listening now, man. But everybody has a story with this guy, man. I all I did was ask him a question. What is funny is the guy that's going to do the intro for this podcast. He's the one that I was asking Sim about, content and stuff, and then Sim wrote me guys might have heard that story. He wrote me a freaking, like soliloquy, a freaking, a ballad, of step-by-step what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, this is a step-by-step, Biggie, step-by-step booklet for you to get this podcast started. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing, man. So, it's interesting that after all this time, because I've been doing it since 2018. Since been doing it for a little while longer. So say 2019, actually. I wanted to have that queued up. 2019, that's when I first met everybody. You know what I'm saying? Since 2019, it's just amazing that how things evolve and we're here now and stuff. So that's pretty cool, man. So let me bring Sim in, because Sim is in the background. I know Sim got these things here. I gotta get used to StreamYard. What's good, Sim? Were you planning on getting on or what?
Can you hear me? I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you good, man.
I was gonna let you rock, but
Yeah, I saw you popped in, man. You looking smooth. You look about 10 years younger. Matter of fact, I gotta say you look better than the first time I met you. To tell you
Oh,
the
for
truth.
real? Shoot, I mean, I just turned 50 though. Might look 10 years younger, but I just turned 50.
That's a blessing, man. Ain't
But
it?
hey, I'm loving it.
Yeah, man. It's the new beginnings and stuff, man. A lot of
Yeah,
things has happened in your life and my life and stuff.
no doubt.
So, even with the Knicks, like, how bad were the Knicks, 7 years ago?
Crazy. I mean, it was what, 17 wins?
Whatever.
At
I've
that time? 17 wins, whatever.
Yeah, block that out
Yeah,
my mind, man. Not even trying to think about those days. But
crazy.
when we met each other, man, and it was not just us there, it was a bunch of people there. So it was just the love that just for the Knicks and just to, like I was telling everybody before I got you on here, that it was just about meeting other Knicks fans and
Right.
trying to figure out what we can do together to bring camaraderie into the fan base again, like how we used to be. That's the
Right.
only thing that it was about back then.
Right. That's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? It just grew to what it is now with all the social content creators and everything, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that though? Because I feel like people are doing it, but it's not like it's almost I really don't. I sometimes I go left with that conversation, but I feel like it's like almost culture vultures type of thing going on. You know,
Oh, it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everybody, like, just everybody sees, if you mention the Knicks, if you do a Knicks podcast, whatever it is, you can get some attention. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And then you got people out there that know how to dictate or dictate the algorithms and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so they're able to put out just like garbage material and get all these views and everything because they understand how the algorithms work and all the stuff to put in. And they put out the clickbait stuff.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they know people are gonna the general fan is gonna click on. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just garbage stuff. It's not real. It's not real conversation. It's not real. Uh, um, friends getting together and talking and things like that. It's just junk. You know
It's
what I mean?
not authentic. Like when you
Right.
when you watch it, you can just see that this is not what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
you know and off the rip, just thinking about how what was out at the time. It was just WFAN, and those guys, if they posted things on YouTube, you would see their things, whatever. And
Yeah.
then that's how I found you. I was scrolling through, then I'm like, who's this who's this guy, man? I'm listening, and I'm just listening to how you do your thing, and like all the background stuff and all the stuff. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But I can't, just for off the first 5 seconds of watching you, I just knew that this is where I need to be
Yeah.
right.
And I had no clue what I was doing, bro. I didn't know anything. All I knew is I was actually doing like blogging first. I was on Twitter
Mhm.
and I was blogging. I was writing. I was blogging, and I did something and I lost my Twitter account, right? And then I restarted it, but getting the followers back was slow. So I was like, well, let me see. I got this YouTube channel I had started like a year or two ago. I said, well, let me see if I just do a video, what happens. I did a video. It was pre-recorded, and it just started snowballing from there. You know what I mean? Um, the only other person that I seen besides like, big um outlets was KFTV, and they were doing like interviews out in front of the garden. It was CP and Jay Ellis, and they were doing like interviews and stuff like that. So it wasn't anything live.
Yeah.
And then one night I was like, everything that I recorded it took too long to get out. So I was like, well, is there a way I can? One night I just picked up my phone. I was at a conference, and I was like, let me try this. Picked up my phone. I had like 70 people on. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, now how can I make this? How can I do this live and make it look pre-recorded? So then I started just doing research on how I could do that. Then I got into OBS and everything, and I just started going live.
Started
And
going crazy.
just going in from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
it became a movement. Everybody started to do it right after you started doing it. You know, me myself included. You know. Like I just mentioned too, like the person that that we're gonna be, you get into to do the intro. That was the guy that I was trying to
Oh,
get
that's probably
information for. Yeah, because he wanted to do like a lifestyle pod, and we were gonna do it together. He just wanted
yeah.
information. At the time, I didn't really want to do it, but he's the one that wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up not doing it, and then just from just just the feeling that I didn't like any voices out there, aside from yourself. I just look and I didn't really see anybody else that I wanted to hear. So I said, you know
Yeah.
what, let me be a voice out there.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy the way it happened. And then now it's a million people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a million people out there just, doing all kinds of stuff, all kinds of content coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is good too, but not
Yeah,
to
it's
not to
good
just
stuff.
not some good stuff out there. A lot of people that I've never noticed before, just scrolling through, like, who is this guy? And I mean, he's pretty good too, you know what I'm saying? So there are some good content creators out there, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely some, but I'm glad you're doing this show, man. It's just the beginning. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just the
Yeah, I was telling you in the chat, man, this is like a freaking trap house that I got here, man. I got this like the dust on the screen and on my computer and the keyboard is it's like an inch thick on this thing, man. I haven't touched this area in like I want to say like almost months now.
yeah. I mean, way to get it back popping. Shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Way to get it back popping.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. So you want me to leave you alone or are you gonna hang out for a little while?
Hang out for a little bit.
All right, cool.
Saying
So
for a couple of minutes. I don't know. Did you want me to put this the timer up there?
well, I had the background thing going. Let me see if I can get this up there. Where you at? See this new layout here with StreamYard is interesting, man. So let me put this back here because I don't really understand how to do it yet. Yeah, so I mean to put you on the screen too, I'm not exactly sure how to do all that yet, man. So
To do what?
like to share my screen.
Oh, well, you just had it shared, but you mean have it shared and have it. Well, we don't have a background set up for it. So if you wanted to just share your screen the way you was doing it, that's cool.
Okay. Because I had it in like the demo like that, but I want to put you in there too. How do I get you in there?
Add the stage and it'll throw me up there.
Oh shit. That's amazing, man.
StreamYard grew big time.
Yeah, big time. They've been stealing money from us for so long, man. Now they finally added features that we can actually use. I see you can edit the stuff too, so it's gonna be dope, man.
Yeah. And as soon as you get used to all that, you'll figure out, okay, how do I, we create layouts so you can share your screen, this and that. So it'll be dope. So you guys are seeing the execution and growth of it in real time.
No doubt. That's the best way to do it. You want to talk
Yeah.
about authenticity, man. This is about as authentic as you can get, man. So I mean,
Taxi!
I just really wanted to show everybody that's just the alumni stuff, man. Just remembering like all these Knicks, so like the purpose is like, you got Melo, you got guys like Amari, Patrick Ewing and stuff like that. These guys represent eras in time, So like I remember Melo, everybody, because he had a Melo Eller, but he might have had maybe like 3 winning seasons out of the time that he was here. He had like 4 or maybe how many years he was a Knick? Maybe 7 years?
With the Knicks for 7 years.
Yeah, so for like 3 of those years, he only won 3 years, but he was embarrassingly bad for 4 years.
Yeah.
So people don't really talk about that. But you got other guys too, like Marcus Camby, Sprewell, and these guys. They were here and they went to the finals and stuff. It was a whole nother era. Then you got this guy Tim Thomas, part of the losing era.
Tim Thomas had his era. That was one of the dark eras.
Yeah, I'm trying to pause it there on these guys. Freaking Roger Mason Jr. Lord have mercy.
Ronaldo Bachman.
Yeah.
And Davis.
Yeah, look at Davis, man. Davis looks like he's a freaking wino or something like that.
Word.
Like down on his luck. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tells you how time just passes. Look at Chris Childs back in the Garden. How long did it take for him to get back?
For real. Chris Childs, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a
I ain't
little bit
seen
of a
him in
beef with
a long
Dolan, I
time.
believe. Yeah,
It's been a long time since I've seen Chris Childs. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Amazing, man, how time goes. You know, oh, look at this guy, Gallo. I remember when Gallo was
Gallo,
drafted, bro.
Gallo used to have the Rooster Reeboks, man.
We thought he was gonna be the next one.
Yeah, for real. We did. We thought he was gonna be that. He was gonna be that guy. I mean, Gallo was good.
Yeah, he
Gallo,
had a good career.
Gallo,
Wow.
crazy. What was he drafted? Eighth,
Something
eighth
like
pick.
that.
I think it was the eighth pick.
Yeah, definitely a good pickup. You know, who was that? Isaiah Thomas or who drafted him?
I think it was Isaiah Thomas. It might have been Isaiah Thomas. No,
It was somebody after.
it was what's it called after because maybe 2 years after Gallo got drafted, he was traded for Melo, right?
Right.
What's his name that traded for Melo from Indiana?
Oh, the dude they put in the wheelchair? He
Yeah,
came
yeah,
in walking and
yeah,
left in a
yeah,
wheelchair.
yeah. I can't think of his name now, but he was the GM for Indiana for a few years, for a while, and built Indiana, into a contender, and then James Dolan brought him to New York. Dang, can't think of his name, but that squad they had, it was like Gallo, Wilson Chandler. Who else was on it?
Oh, there you go, Donnie Walsh.
Donnie Walsh. Yep, Donnie Walsh. There you go.
He came walking
Gallo.
in and left in a wheelchair, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Let me see. Gallo, Wilson Chandler. Who else was on those teams? Zebo. Uh,
Zebo
I
and
mean,
Raymond Felton.
Felton was on those teams. Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford, yeah.
Right? Like, and before they traded, well, actually, before they traded for T Mac to try to get LeBron, right? That squad was they was starting to do something. It was Mike D'Antoni was the coach, right? And that team was starting to. So maybe it wasn't Gallo on that team. Maybe it was
But they had David Lee.
Crawford and them guys, Eddie Curry, Crawford, Zebo, that squad.
Yeah.
And then they traded for T Mac to try to get LeBron, and then you got to the Gallows and Wilson Chandler and those guys, and they traded them guys to get Melo.
Yeah. What a time, man. See how much time passed? As I'm looking through here, they're just showing like what these guys were doing. You got Brunson 2016, he was in college still.
College.
This guy Cat was just drafted,
Just drafted.
You got this guy, he was in college too, Josh Hart. Look at this dude.
College. Shockers.
Shamit don't even look the same.
Nah.
Acne and all this. That's the other guy, Mikal. Yeah, but so I'm just showing these guys. This is OG. It's a fast forward to now. Like look how much you can achieve, how much time could pass. 10 years could pass, and look how much things can change.
Exactly.
In the time.
You know what I'm saying? Over 10 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm trying to build a picture here. Is that fans right now they're crying a lot about Cat. Is either you don't like him or you crying because people are complaining about him. Same thing with Brunson fans. They're doing the same thing. People are like either you like what he's doing or you thinking that he's the one that's sabotaging the team because he's shooting too much and stuff like that. Just crying about different things. So the last time I cried some over some basketball.
What was that?
When the Knicks traded Rod Strickland.
Wow.
That was 1990. Know how old I was in 1998, 89, 1990?
So that might have been the last time too for me. The last time, I don't know if it was around that time for me when the Knicks lost to, or maybe it was a little bit before. I don't know. Or around the same time when the Knicks lost to the Bulls in the playoffs. Johnny Newman came down. I think he took a 3 instead of going for 2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they lost that series, and I started crying.
Yeah, that might have been around the same time because when Rob was there, that's when Johnny Newman and those guys were there. So
Yeah,
the Bomb
yeah,
Squad.
yeah. My mother was like, what are you crying about? They're gonna play again." I was like, "Not this year. They're not."
Well, after that series, they first they got Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson came from St. John's, so I got a chance to being in New York City. You know what I'm saying? You get a chance to actually feel him because you know where he's from and things of that nature. Even this guy, Rod Strickland, I seen play in person. When I was
Mm,
coming up as a kid, I was
yeah,
like, I used to idolize him. When the Knicks drafted him, I said, "Yo, we got Mark Jackson and Rod
yeah,
Strickland."
Strickland.
And
Yeah,
then 2 years later, neither one of them on the team. So I cried like a baby, man.
crazy, crazy, crazy. They both was hoopers too, man.
Yeah.
It was both hoopers, both of them. They could hoop.
Yeah, so fast forward now, all the social media stuff, everybody got a microphone in their face and everybody's talking, everybody's doing whatever. And this is what we're talking about now. Cat is, his I guess his confidence is when weaning because they tried to trade him during the summer. I guess it didn't work or they was giving feelers and stuff like that. So now the
Mm.
conversation never stops. So now here we are in the middle of this season where they just came off that losing streak. I know you were talking about the losing streak on your channel and stuff, man. What were your thoughts again on the whole thing?
On the whole losing streak thing.
Yeah,
Oh man, that was definitely a tough moment, and I I still have some of the same feelings. You know what I mean? I felt like the team wasn't. I felt like they lost their structure. You know what I'm saying? They had a structure in place. And they knew what time they were gonna play, what time they were coming out the game. They knew exactly what their roles were. It was very regimented. You know what I'm saying? Thibodeau was very regimented to his demise, right?
yeah,
He was so regimented, it was to his demise. You know what I mean? But it helped the team that we had. Now you got Mike Brown, who's not as regimented. He doesn't substitute based on what he had planned. He might have a plan in place, but he substitutes based on the game. His feel for the basketball game a little bit more.
right,
He's a little bit more loose. He maybe gives them more freedom than Tom Thibodeau did. Now the players always said, Tom Thibodeau, kind of let you do what you want, but the offense was very predictable. You knew what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Every time down the floor, you knew what was going to happen.
right.
With Mike Brown, you don't really know what's going to happen. It's kind of helter skelter, in my opinion. So I feel like the structure that was in place is not there now because they're building a new structure. You know what I mean? And it's a rough transition, I think, for this team. You know what I'm saying? Because 4 years of this structure. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden it's not there. Brunson for 2 years or so. Josh Hart for about 2 years. Mitchell Robinson, Deuce, those guys only knew Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? So this structure was there that, now is broken down and they got to get used to something new. You know what I mean? No, less structure and things. And I think it's difficult. I think it's a difficult transition for
Yeah,
this team.
I think so too. Even last year under Tom Thibodeau, though, this guy, I was gonna bring this up too. Mikal Bridges was complaining about energy and stuff like that. Just trying to get guys motivated during games where he came up with the whole layup line thing. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
So I mean, the structure that they had, it's something that they were used to. It was working. It worked for them, but it was just management. Dolan even said it. He just wanted to get, between him and Leon, they wanted to get the young guys involved. You know what I'm saying? Just to
Mhm.
just to get things flowing and stuff like that. So I mean, I think Mike Brown's style is what they asked for. But like you said, these guys are so regimented into this. Like, just play 48 minutes and figure it out during the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yeah.
always gonna have a chance to figure it out with the
Yeah.
with the squad. So 20-point comebacks and 15-point comebacks and stuff like that was something that they could do because they were just out there grinding it out. That was how they played.
Yeah. So, we'll see how, you know, I think next year is when you see if the team is the same, is when you probably start to see like it really excel. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know how much I've actually seen that much of an offensive system
Mhm.
of Mike Brown. But we'll see if, we'll see how it grows and what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do your job.
Right.
Do your job.
We'll see. I'm not mad at Mike Brown. I know some people think I'm mad at Mike. I'm not mad at Mike Brown at all. I think he had a tough job. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of scrutiny and or has a tough job with a lot of scrutiny. I got patience, but I'm not gonna be afraid. Just because I got patience with him doesn't mean I'm not gonna say I don't like something.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? If I see him, I'm like, nah, this is some bullshit. I don't like this. Then that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all fair. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're here for. We love the Knicks, we watch we love basketball first and foremost, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We all
Exactly.
play basketball no matter what level. If you play in the street or you play organized basketball in the park, in for schools or whatever, we love the game. So,
Yeah.
that's all a part of the process.
Yeah.
What you got there?
Raul said Mike Brown was handed a complete team and he's incompleting the team. I don't know if he was handed a complete team.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a couple new players into the system. You don't know how they're going to fit into the system. It's hard to say if it's complete. The team that I thought was complete, I don't know what the ceiling was going to be for that team, but the only team over the past 3 years that I thought the Knicks had that was actually complete was the team that we traded away to get Cat. But when we had Randall and Brunson and OG and Bridges and DiVincenzo and Josh Hart and Deuce and Mitchell Robinson, maybe someone else, I'm not sure. But I thought that was a complete basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Now, what was the ceiling of that team? I'm not sure.
Right.
But I thought that team was pretty complete with what you needed. Then when they traded, obviously you gave up Randall and you gave up DiVincenzo. So now you had to add to the depth again on the team.
I'm right there with you, man. Don't forget Bogey too, man. Bogey and the
Bogey.
5 picks, that went for Mikal. So,
Yeah.
Bogey coming off the bench was perfect, man. If Julius wasn't hurt, how far could that team have gone?
That team had gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like that team, people get mad at Bridges, but Bridges was brought in to fit that basketball team, and I thought he fit that basketball team perfectly. Then the team changed a little bit and so his role changed a little bit. You know what
It
I mean?
changed on the fly, man. It
Yeah,
was like the first day of training camp, they traded for Cal.
everything changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like that team was pretty complete. I would have loved to see where that team could have went. Not that I don't like this team, but that team I just felt was complete. It had depth. You know what I'm saying? They had a little aggression and edge to them.
Yeah.
People wasn't coming in. Nobody was coming in to try to punk us, and I see that a lot with this team. You know what I'm saying? That team had a lot of right things going on. I think they made the trade to try to make the ceiling higher. You know what I mean? But who knows what that team could have done? I don't know. It's hard
Well,
to say, but I thought that team was pretty complete.
we always talking about identity, right? This current team, people saying they
Yeah,
don't have identity. That team that you mentioned, man, had an identity, and it was
yeah,
bully ball.
exactly.
You
It was
know
bully
what
ball.
happened to the bully ball? Like trading for Cat is fine, trading for Mikal is fine, but you did not replace the dogs. You didn't
Exactly.
replace the dogs.
Yeah, you didn't replace him. Yep, and you gave up two. Right. I mean, Mikal was going to be here with DiVincenzo and Randall. But when you traded Randall and DiVincenzo for Cat, it basically ended up being that you gave up Randall and DiVincenzo for Cat and Mikal. You know what I'm saying? You gave up two aggressive dogs The two guys is a little bit more laid back when you get out there on the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it changed the team. There's no doubt about it. You know
Yo,
what I'm saying?
you talk about enforcer too. People say, yo, the Knicks need to get an enforcer. Hartenstein was that guy too. You know,
Yeah,
he went to OKC.
right. You know what I'm saying? He was one of them guys. Now he was gonna be going to OKC, I guess anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Um, but we just gotta find a way to build with this team. I think, there's some like Jordan Clarkson, I feel like it's kind of been a misstep with this team. Yabu's been a misstep a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot bit. Jordan Clarkson's been a misstep a little bit. Yabu's been a misstep a lot bit. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it. Yep.
Yabu, that dude. So I mean,
What's up with dude, man?
no, man. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know. Maybe the brights was just too light, too bright for him.
Maybe I don't know. But he showed up to camp supposedly out of shape, and then I think everybody was just like, man, to hell with this guy, from day one.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so neither one of them really fit into what Mike Brown wants to do. Clarkson is kind of like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And people can't really figure out. I think his teammates can't really figure out what he's doing out there on the floor. He disrupts the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like herky jerky the way he plays, and you don't know what he's going to do, when he's going to shoot, if he's going to be. You don't really know. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it's tough playing with Clarkson, and then Yabu is just I feel like he lacks a lot of confidence.
Yeah, which is so odd to me, because you see him playing in FIBA. The guy's an animal in FIBA. He's like going crazy. That play when he dunked on LeBron. Even before that, that whole tournament, he was playing fantastic for them, leadership wise too.
Yeah. Just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He lost a lot of confidence somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he doesn't play with confidence at all. Plays with none. He plays with no confidence.
At all. He got a fat ass though, man. Nothing.
Crazy.
I'm just being observant, man. I don't know where his bloodline come from.
I don't know. It's crazy. My fiance laughs about it every time we watch a game. She's look at him.
He's like a big, like somebody's grandmother running up and down the court, man. Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he fits the name Yabu, man.
Word up.
Yabu, he fits it. The look, the style, everything. He fits it.
Yeah.
You know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what do you think about these Knicks and the trade deadline? I know you just probably discussed it on this channel.
Because I know you wanted to do the 60-second timer.
Okay.
So there you go. It's up in the
that's dope.
We got it up there. So when you switch from like the screen with two and the screen with just you, it'll stay there.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll stay there.
Oh, like for this, for here? Okay. This and that.
Stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go back to that page.
Sure. Aha.
Stay there.
All right.
There we go.
I like it.
Yeah,
we'll get all this stuff done.
It'll get tight.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? People like seeing the growth in real. I remember when I first started, and one night it was like 3:00 in the morning, and so I was like, I didn't really know how to test my sound without just going live and then listening back to it. Right. And I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning. Ain't nobody paying attention. I went live and like 30 people jumped on. And I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do now? And they just basically sat there and helped me test sound.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? It was like 30 people, and they all stayed on while I was testing the sound. They just told me, yeah, dude, yeah, this sounds good. That doesn't sound, everything. Just testing the sound with me. It was dope.
There's something about you though, man. There's something, energy you give off or something you like people gravitate to you, man. So you could have been taking a shit. People would be like, yo, man, use some wet wipes, man. You're gonna burn your asshole, man. They would have been encouraging you. Don't push. You're gonna get hemorrhoids.
Yeah, you never, yeah. I mean, they probably would have. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was dope. So they just sat there and tested sound with me. So, people don't mind. If they know it's live and you got to grow. Mess up, make mistakes. I know
Yeah.
that's the one thing I did with my channel back. I tested and tried all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I tried the 24-hour thing. You know what I mean? YouTube shut it down because they tried to say I was cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was just having like shows come on, older shows just keep coming on. It would just go 24 hours. YouTube, they try to say it was cheating. I did where like I was using, I forgot what it was I was using, but it was this one thing I was using before StreamYard even existed, where I would get a bunch of people in, right? And I would have them on the screen, but those who weren't in the background, they could still talk to each other. And they would be having wild conversations, crazy conversations back there. So at the time, YouTube had it where you could like stream two things at the same time, right? And so what I did is I was having like our conversation would be going here, and then I had like the back room, and I was streaming that on an alternate channel. You know what I'm saying? And then I would pull somebody in to talk. It was hard to maintain though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was hard to maintain. And then with that platform that I was using, it like with this here, if we let somebody in, you can see if they got a picture up, you could, you can kind of you can monitor that a little bit. With that, it was hard. So like I had someone on the screen and they just had a black screen up, right? And Big Bubba was on, he was talking, and all of a sudden, he was saying his point. All of a sudden, he said, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yo, relax, calm down." And then I looked at the screen, and when I looked at the screen, it was I don't know, it was them, and the person had titties and a D,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, "What the?" And I had to, I took the person off. Gmo was on there. He was like, "Yo, Sim, it's another one. It's another one." All black screen. So I pulled that person out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And like the chat was like going crazy. And so I seen some people was like, "What happened? What happened?" People was like rewinding it so they could try to see what happened.
Yeah.
Yo, it was crazy. Because the person that was black screen, they just like turned the camera on. I think they turned the camera on mistakenly, and it was butt ass naked. I was like, "Yo, they bugging." And then that's when I stopped just letting people in,
Yeah.
putting the link in the chat and letting people in. I was like, I gotta get some kind of control over it. It was crazy.
Yeah. I forgot what it was too, because I was around for those days too.
Yeah.
We used to be in the
Oh, yeah.
background, like having a death match in the back. Like guys, you're talking about something else, and we on the side just going crazy. Not not
Crazy,
even part of the
yeah.
show.
It was crazy. A couple
Yeah.
people, Kev said he remembers that. Mids 187 says he remembers that stream. It was crazy. And I had to go back and cut that part out, to make sure that YouTube didn't take it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, let me get control of that. Now is, you have a little bit more control because of StreamYard and things like StreamYard, so you have a little more control over it. But after that, that was exactly, Kev, that was the last time I just let strangers in.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the heck. You know what I mean? So now, StreamYard is, the way they have, I normally use OBS. I use StreamYard and OBS together, right? But, StreamYard has it set up pretty nice where you can do a lot of things, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna attempt to do that too, right? Have people come in.
Yeah. I didn't know if you want to try to do it today. Like if you did get someone, I can pop out and that person can come in. It's up to you.
We could do it. We could do that if you want, But now encourage everybody to pull the pull a Johnsons and the tits out at the same time. Lord have mercy.
Yo, I mean, the good thing about it is you can have everybody, like if we could set it up in order for them to get in, they've got to validate themselves through YouTube.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so, that's always a good thing.
Okay.
because then you know that person is, at least you think you know that person is, but I
Legit.
think for the most part now, um, you're gonna get people that that's always in the chat, and we know who they are. So I don't think we had to worry about that. At that time, it was like wild, wild west though. It was just, it
Yeah,
was
that was
it was
like an
crazy.
unsecure thing that was happening there.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was definitely crazy.
yeah, good times, man. Good
But
times.
I'm gonna come right back. Let me step away for a second.
Mhm.
All right, and I'll be right back.
All right, no doubt.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, man. Now the Sims out of here. Now we can let me start tapping into shit now, Yeah, man. But this is exciting, man. The Die Hard Hour. This is the first pilot episode. We're getting everything together. Things are gonna look a little different. Like I said, there's an intro coming, so we're working on the intro. So I want to say by next week that should be completed. It should be completed. Maybe a couple versions of it should be completed. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing content on my own channel as well. So so please tune in for that type of stuff. On the screen here, let me put this back up. I was sharing the screen earlier. So as you can see here, my Instagram page. This is my Instagram page. If you want to see me put up content, I finally hit 3,000 followers too. So I've been doing Instagram for a while. So Instagram wasn't really like feeling me, my content really. But I must have found the algorithm like they all say. And this is my page now. I just hit 3,000 followers. So that's kind of like that's worth celebrating. You know what I'm saying? After 1,850 posts, you know what I'm saying? I finally got it together. But as you can see here, there you go. I had 5,000 views on this one. This one here with Patrick Ewing has 7,000, but this one in the middle had freaking 21,000 views. On YouTube, was it this one? Was it this or YouTube? This one has more than this one has like 500 and something thousand views, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to click it because it's gonna get the sound on and stuff like that. So I don't want to get any copyright strikes with the music and stuff. But this was on. Let me take this out real quick. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, this is my baby right now, man. So right now on the YouTube channel and also Instagram, you're gonna see these shorts that I've been doing. So as you can see here, me making little comments and stuff like that, different animations and whatever. So please support that. If you're into jokes and stuff like that, for people that know my humor and stuff, I tend to try to put my humor into these reels and stuff. So I've been getting a lot of good feedback. Also, as far as on Twitter is concerned, I'm not really messing with Twitter like that anymore. There's like too many people on there that are looking to antagonize you. Nobody's really trying to talk to you on there. So just to give you the heads up on that, I'm on Threads though. So Threads is affiliated. It's basically the parent, the sister company to Instagram. It's Instagram's version for Twitter. So you can find me on Twitch. I'm active on Twitch now. I'm excuse me on not Twitch, Threads. I'm active on Threads. So if you would like to follow me on Threads, please hit Threads up and we can have the conversation there. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I am. This is what's happening and stuff. So what you're gonna find with this channel, I'm gonna be ranting, ranting and raving about various different topics for the week. If the Knicks happen to play that day, which is also something to point out, if the Knicks play on a Thursday, I'm still gonna go live at 9. So in that case, I will be doing basically a watch along for an hour. So the watch along will probably start like around maybe halftime. If it let's say if halftime is like about 8:30 or so like that, I'll probably pop on maybe a little earlier than that just so I can get some of the halftime and maybe ride out the second half up until it's time for the post game show, and that's when I'll hand it off to Sim. So that's gonna be a thing on every Thursday. I'll do a little watch along, for about an hour, Diehard talk, and then like I said, I'll pass it on to Sim so he can take care of the post game show and stuff. So this is the new thing here, guys. I appreciate everyone that's been paying attention. For those on the replay and stuff, going to wonder why is Ebru on the channel and stuff like that. The reason why is this is a new beginning here for MBK. Sim opened the door again for content creators and stuff. Really, people affiliated with himself. Another content creator is going to pop up also is Barbershop Talk. He's also supposed to create some content too. This is my guy here, Trey Frazier. He has a channel, like I said, called Barbershop Sports Talk. So he'll be on here with his own new show. So he's gonna bring something different, man. So me, I like to keep it raw. I like to keep it as authentic and loosey goosey as possible. But Trey's a little bit more straightforward. He likes to keep things more organized and stuff like that. So you're gonna get two different takes on Knicks fandom and stuff like that, man. So with on his show, you might see like other content creators, people that are not affiliated with MBK. On this little show, you're not going to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't particularly want to talk to anybody, and I don't want to cater to nobody neither. And I think Sim is on the same wavelength also. Because Sim could easily have these high profile guests and stuff like that, but he doesn't choose to do that. You know what I'm saying? So Frazier, he'll get into that and bring that element to the show. So just giving you guys a heads up and stuff, man. So we're gonna keep it funky with the show and stuff. So I know, Sam, we mentioned that we wanted to invite people to the show. So let me see if I can figure it out here. There you go. So this is my link here. So this is actually going to be a permanent link for anybody that wanted to get on the show here. So let's try it out. So I guess I can put this here. So this is a link to the show. Right. So if anybody can see that there, I'm gonna test it out here. So this is really an open panel here for all of you guys. So we're talking about guys like Nostalgic Nick, you got Donald here, you got Kev is here. All you guys have been a part of Ali 100. A lot of you guys have been around forever, man. You know what I'm saying? So this open forum is for you guys. So if anybody wants to talk, I'll put once I put the link up, then that'll be open for anybody to come in and sit in, and talk about the particular topic that we talked about today. So the topic for today's show is all about Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and their emotions and stuff that they've been dealing with like this season and last season, and how it's coming to a head now where we're approaching the trade deadline, and them reacting and carrying on the way that they are, with the up and down play and stuff. Mikal Bridges, he scored 30 last night, but he had 0 points in the first quarter. He had 6 points in the first half. So it took him, probably getting cursed out at halftime by Mike Brown and everybody else on the team for him to finally wake up. Because at the end of the game, for those that pay attention to the content, this is let me see if I can get this here. Like this reel here, I didn't really want to click it because I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Playing, I think I wasn't coachable enough. I don't know what it was. Maybe I felt too much entitlement, but just had to kind of talk to myself a little bit about it and just be coachable, be the best team I can be, and then let basketball speak for itself.
Yes. Powerful awareness. That's clarity.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, man, but Mikal Bridges is having a freaking nervous breakdown in front of the camera where he's like telling us his innermost darkest thoughts and stuff, at the end of the game, which is ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? These guys, like nowadays, they're just not built the same, where they feel like they have to vent as if they're talking to like a therapist online and stuff. Like you're at a post game show. I know guys give their generic answers and stuff, but these guys they don't know where to give it, man. So they just think, I'm having a bad day. Like, I mean, come on, man. It's just to me, it's just basketball. Basketball ain't but so much things you can do. Like the coach's job is to get guys organized, whatever. The player's job is to push back a little bit. No, I don't like it that way. Can we modify this? Can we shift this or whatever? These are the conversations that I believe should be happening, because that's what happened when I used to play. If guys were doing whatever, say, yo, man, this ain't working, man. We ain't whatever. And then guys say, yo, let's switch the zone. Let's do this. Let's try some other things, or the coach was just a hard ass, and then you would just have to figure it out because you want to play. So the pro level now is not the same, man. These guys are just not built the same, So, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is complaining about touches to the point where Josh Hart got to come out to the media and talk about, you need to worry about blocking shots. That this stuff that needs to be kept in the lab, bro. But that's not how things are done now. Guys used to speak in the media and stuff like that back in the days, but now it's like so specific and and whatever. And it's also like social media driven too, because these guys have podcasts and these guys have brands outside of basketball. So making these little comments is gonna make guys go to their, I want to see what the guy's gonna say on the Roommates podcast later. You know what I'm saying? Based off of what he said about Cat. So I mean, this is a weird time that we are right now, man. So, It is what it is. Like I said, Carl Anthony Towns complaining about touches. Same thing. I made a video here also about Carl Anthony Towns posting up. Let me take this off because I don't want the music to mess up. But as you can see, Karl Anthony Towns making moves to the basket. Some of these moves, it's like, where is he doing? Where is he going with these moves? This is the only move that he actually scored in here. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It's like an up and under kind of thing, but he pushed it off. He had knocked the guy down. Here he is there. Every time he spins, just to with the microphone. I don't want to bang the microphone. Let me see if I could turn. Like he'll drive, and then as he's driving, he'll hook the guy like that. He'll hook his arm. If you watch the video, every time he drives, he hooks the arm. So I have never ever seen anybody do that before in that manner. It's to the point where Russell Westbrook is guarding him. So people are saying like that Russell Westbrook was fouling and everybody's fouling him, but the referee can't give the foul to Karl Anthony Towns because Karl Anthony Towns is doing that little swimming hook move every single time, or he's throwing an elbow as he's bouncing the ball as he's doing there. So I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is crazy, man. Some of these issues that we have, we just should not be having them now, especially a guy that's 30 years old. Karl Anthony Towns is 30 years old. He's not a kid, man. He's been playing basketball for a long time. He's playing for the Dominican Republic national team when he was a teenager. He was in high school, and he was playing for the Dominican Republic national team. So this guy's been playing basketball for a long time. So these little things that he's having problems with, man, he should not be having these problems. So it's just weird. So I know I said this is the Diehard Hour. I'm not even sure how long I've been on. I believe I've been on almost an hour, man. So that's another thing too. As the show goes on, once we start talking, even if I have a guest pop on, if a guest pops on and they're giving their comments and stuff, if it gets to that hour, the show is over. I'm just gonna hit the end. Boop, hard stops on these pods, man. So so that'll keep the energy high and everybody be able to get their thoughts in. So if you want to get your thought in, I'll let you in. But if there's like 30 seconds left on the clock, if you're still talking, boop, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that popped in the podcast, man. So I'm not really sure. StreamYard is different now, so I'm not really sure who popped in from either channel and stuff. So I know Daniel Berry Sports usually pops up on my channel, man. So shout out to Daniel Berry Sports. Once again, I said Trey Frazier here. He's definitely going to be a part of the NBK family for this second go around of shows that's going to be appearing on the Nothing But Knicks network. Shout out to you got Dwayne U7J. You got the Grill is in the place there. I think I was calling him Angel before. Whatever. So I mean, the Grill's definitely one of the guys that's always around. So shout out to Kev Berg also. Kev is always around as well. Scrolling through here. There's other guys too, like Cornerstone Kev. Cornerstone Kev hit me up the other day, and I responded back to his message, and he didn't respond back. So hopefully Kev is doing good. Shout out to Kev. Shout out to Big Bubba too. I haven't seen Big Bubba in a while, man. But he's a young guy. Trying to make it. So hopefully everything is good with him, man. Definitely always love and support to my guy. Big Bubba, man. Hope everything is going well with him. Always got a bad chick on his arm too, bro. keep that a buck. Say got Kareem Grant in place. Kareem Grant's always been around here. That's my twin. Still the real AD. Just looking for different names in here because I'm about to wrap the show up, guys. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the pilot episode of the Diehard Hour. Like I said, it'll be a weekly topic about whatever is happening with the Knicks or whatever is grinding my gears at the moment. I'll jump on. I give my little rant and stuff like that. I invite everybody to pop in if they would like to. Shout out to anybody that would like to come on the show. You might find guests that might pop in just like Sim came in just to show love on the show today to give support. But other people will pop on the show as well. Just to keep it funky, man. Something a little different. I know Sim likes to keep everything smooth. My man is smooth. My man Tony adds the scientificness to it. My man the controversy. He used to like to pop in and give his controversial stuff, his controversial take. Hope he's doing well too. I know he's doing this thing, transitioning in life and stuff like that, trying to build himself up. So big shout out to the controversy. Everybody else affiliated with Nothing But Knicks. You got shout out to Jeremy over there, Legion of the Knicks. He's doing his thing on his own there. Freezy is another guy from back in the days. Shout out to everybody that's been affiliated with this channel. So once again, just like to thank everybody for tuning in. Tune in every Thursday at 9 o'clock. You'll see me on this channel here, Nothing But Knicks, doing the Die Hard Hour, man. So tune in. We can make it as candid as possible. You know, I'll give my rants. I'll go as crazy as I want to be, as technical as I want to be, depending on the moment of what's happening, man. So, but if, above all else, I'm just happy to be alive, happy to be healthy, and happy to still be motivated to talk to myself, to strangers online with my microphone in my room. And today I'm wearing underwear. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting here, you know, comfortable, enjoying my time here, man. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed this little experience. I am Diehard Eru. This is the Diehard Hour. I say it on my show. I don't know if I should say it here, but I say 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking your thumb, salute. And I catch you guys on the next one, man. Shout out to Sim in the background, man. I'm out of here. And I'll catch you guys next week on this channel at 9 p.m. I see somebody saying much love. Look, much love, bro. Gonna be a great show. Absolutely. Look at my guys here, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that pops up on here is all family, man. You know, I know a lot of people like to say, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. Listen, I don't love them hoes. You know what I'm saying? I love the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I love my wife anymore. You know, she's a little weird. My kids are annoying. My mom and my dad, you know, I'm not even sure if they even like me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I love myself. I love the Knicks. And what? I guess God, right? I guess. Anyway, I'm out of here before I get struck down here, man. So anyway, have a good night, y'all. Peace.